Hello YouTubers. As there was a little bit of interest shown in the Arduino kit that I said I'd be getting, which arrived shortly after I posted that video, I thought I'd just jump in and give a little bit of an introduction to it, and again why I decided to buy it. This is basically an open source electronics kit, development kit if you will. The one that I bought comes from a local company in South Africa called NetRam. The name is on there. I paid 695 Rand plus courier to get it to my door. I'm fairly sure that you would get similar kits if you're based in Europe or in the States for a fair bit cheaper. But nonetheless, it's certainly not bad as a starter kit, because you get a whole lot of bits and pieces to actually get you started off. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on the bench and just quickly open the box just to give you a rough idea what you do get when you get started. If people are really interested in this series, then perhaps I'll put a few more videos together kind of following my learning, how I'm getting into it, and perhaps I can hopefully educate a few people along the way, and you can just see what projects I'm doing. As I said, I've already mentioned the things I want to do is a digital thermometer with standalone logging, a DC power data logger which can take inputs from 3 solar panels and temperature readings and again log standalone, and then an MPPT solar charge controller, as I said, where I'd have a look at the tracking algorithms and what have you. Now some of those projects are fairly challenging. I might be biting off more than I can chew, but we'll see how easy it is to get into this. There are the reason I went for this, there are loads of forums on the internet that provide code and show you how to do the projects. I'm going to mention a few because I've come across a few, and a good user reminded me of a good one as well, which I came across several years ago, in fact, which actually planted the seed in my head. There's a site, these will all be mentioned in the show notes, and I'll put links to them. The main one is the actual Arduino website, and their forums and projects and everything posted there. Another good one I found is called Tronic Stuff, and the gent there goes through chapters of starting off with the basics. He shows you how to go do the projects, what you're going to learn, and he's got YouTube video clips as well. And that's probably what I'm going to follow to get myself into it. There's also a site by the name of a gent called Tim Nolan, who's done a few projects, and he actually has done one on MPPT. So I'm going to go and have a look at his site. Again, he gives a nice explanation as well. But again, these notes will be in the show notes. I say what you can. The nice thing again about Arduino is that you get several board types, and as I get into this, I'll explain why I've chosen the particular board I have, the Uno, as opposed to the Mega. But I'm fairly sure I might move to the Mega, and these terms will make more sense as we kind of get into it. You can get loads of there are so many shields which are kind of add-on daughter boards where you can add either Ethernet or GPS, SD cards. It's limitless. There's loads, sensors, all sorts. So it really is a great way to start. And I think if you go and have a look, if you've got half an inkling and you go and have a look at these websites, it might get your interest up. But anyway, I'm going to open this box now on the bench, and we'll just have a quick look at what comes in this starter kit, and ultimately I'll be able to tell you once I get into it whether this starter kit actually works or not, and whether it's worthwhile getting or just simply buying your own individual components. Okay, so here is the kit that's arrived. As I said, I got this from NetRam Technologies. The only reason I kind of really wish to highlight them as a company is because in South Africa there aren't too many agents for Arduino kits. I know RS Components also sell Arduino, but NetRam, by all accounts, have the largest selection, and their website is really friendly to you. So if you are based in South Africa, certainly probably well worth a visit is to go to their website, because they certainly seem to have good kit there. The starter kit, just a heads up, before I start opening things up and touching things, obviously when you're dealing with bits of electronics like this where there's potentially sensitive electronics and surface mount devices and chips and what have you, just make sure you have either wear a static strap, or what I've done, I've gone and earthed myself to make sure that there's no electrical charge on me, static charge, because potentially if you start handling things and you've got a charge, you could blow them or they're not going to work properly. So what comes as a starter kit is this resource CD, which I assume has got I don't know whether it's got any manuals. You can buy separate manuals, and obviously there are manuals on the internet, but it's probably got the software which allows you to program and send code to the Arduino Uno. This box, obviously with the starter, which is a kind of double-sided box with components on both sides, which we'll have a close look at now. Then as an extra, I bought myself this LCD display. Ooh, and I can see it's got a piece of plastic over the display. That'll have to come off soon, because I'm going to take it off right now, because as I said, that kind of, I hate those bits of things on there. They're there for a reason when they're shipped, but for me they don't need to be there once you're using them. It's a dual line 16 character LCD display with a serial interface on it. Now again, I said I'm learning a lot through this, but apparently I think you can get these without the serial interface. The serial interface apparently helps us run faster and allows you to send commands easier. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll discover that as I start playing with that. This cost about, if I remember, between 230 and 250 Rand. So that did bump up the price of the kit. But I know just with the starter kit you can start kind of playing around with motors and LEDs, but I really wanted to get into having a display output, so I could start writing code and having things displayed, whether it's values or, like as I said, the digital thermometer. I'm hoping I can do with the kit I've got here, and I'll note if I can or I can't. Right, so the box, let's just have a look. And this literally is the first time I'm opening the lid, so probably, okay, so the most important piece of kit in here then should be the Arduino Uno. As I said, you get an Arduino Uno, which is a smaller board, and then you get one, and the changes are the processing unit on it, as I understand, can handle more I/O, so more digital input output and more analog input output. I see it's got a little made in Italy and a quality tested stamp on there. So let's have a look. Okay. Stickers. So there is the board, and I need to do some investigation, as from what I understand this is the revision 3 board, because there are earlier revisions. This board has the DIP dual inline package, or the chip processing unit, which you plug in. I have been told by someone that actually uses these for educational purposes at a university. That's a good route to go, because what they found in particular with students, if you connect things up incorrectly, you can potentially blow the processing unit or what have you, and it's far easier just then to hook out this chip and pop in a new one at not too much cost. Whereas once you get to the mega boards, they've got an SMD chip, and if you blow that, you've got to buy a whole new board basically. Okay, so that's the little Uno which comes in the box. I'm going to probably just leave it like that. I don't need the little box anymore. There's potentiometer, there's a bunch of colored LEDs, there is a photo sensor, there's a triple color LED, there are some little micro switches. It comes with a stepper motor. It's kind of the type that remote control you'd use in a remote control planes or what have you, but it's obviously a stepper motor which you can program to do things. It also comes with a cable to plug into the into the Arduino so you can actually program it from your PC. So that's the one side. The other side, some resistors and a Zener diode, some connecting wires and a little mini breadboard. So that's quite useful. It looks like it's got double-sided tape so you can actually stick it down somewhere. It's got a 9-volt battery connector. There's a transistor by the looks of things and a little piezo speaker. A voltage regulator, a relay. I'm not too sure what that other component is. I would have to double check. And then it comes with this and hello, this is what you have to be very careful about, this stuff falling out the bag. What is this called? I actually wrote down the name. It's basically a modeling plastic that you can heat up and model forms out of for your project. So if you want to either build, you can either do artistic stuff, but in this case I think you can actually model bits and pieces around your project if you want to mount LEDs or what have you. So that's what that's for. I know you can obviously buy this in large containers. I had to read up about this. I didn't even know this stuff existed. I'm not sure whether it's something that I would be using straight away. I do know you can get cases for the Arduino. If you, for instance, build a project, let's say you're not just prototyping, but you're actually building, let's say I built that digital thermometer and I wanted to use it in essence in production, you can buy little cases for your Arduino board to put it in to actually set it up as a device that you use permanently. So there we go. That's a very quick introduction to it. Let me know, give me some feedback if you're keen to kind of follow my learning process, the pitfalls, whether explaining all the bits and pieces on the board and that. I don't want to bore people to tears. There are other very good videos on the internet on this, but if you're keen to follow kind of my projects or what have you, then certainly let me know, and as I progress I'll kind of pop in the odd video so you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, if you do have any questions, then certainly do post them. If this is something you do want to follow, let me know, and then certainly subscribe so at least you know when I post videos in this regard. Thanks very much for watching, and again, if you gain any value from watching my videos, please do give them a thumbs up. It certainly helps what I'm doing. Cheers.